Good morning, everybody. Jeanette with Country Design Style. I'm on YouTube over here and Facebook here, and I am going to repurpose a sugar jar. This is a dollar store sugar jar. Now, you can see I've already started on some of it, but stay tuned because I'm going to give you some ideas on how to kind of make it your own style instead of just, in case you're not in a farmhouse. There's some ideas on this. Okay, so I've already started painting it with chalk-based paint. I'm just using inexpensive Waverly. I got at Walmart. And this part is already dry. I'm going to put just a quick coat on. Realized when I opened the jar, I thought, oh, I've used more of this than I thought. Hello, Pamela. Hello, Karen. Welcome, everybody. I am setting this lid aside. I'm kind of okay with the lid, and I just want to leave that as is. And I'm painting this on just quickly. I don't want to spend too much time with it, but this will cover your glass jars, your chalk-based paints, even the inexpensive ones will cover it just fine. And I'm not doing it, like I said, I'm doing it quickly, not necessarily neatly. And that's okay. I wanted it to be that way. If you do want it neat, I do suggest they have chalk-based paint in spray paint. So if you want a nice smooth finish, do that instead. They've really changed some of the spray paints out nowadays. There's a new one out that I can't wait to try, and I think it's called Plutonium, which is kind of scary, but it's supposedly a good one. And I'll try it, and then I'll pop in after I try it and let you guys know what I thought of it. Because if you've been using a lot of paints for a lot of different years, okay, pretty much all the way around my jar now. And, again, I'm just going willy-nilly, and I'm not even paying attention. This is the top here, holding it upside down. But there's the top. Tip, put your hand in the jar. Hopefully it'll come back out, right? But put your hand in the jar, and that way you can kind of wiggle it around. Also, turntables. I use a lot of turntables when I'm painting things, too. I try to, as I'm painting or giving these tips and these DIYs, I always try to give an extra tip or two, regarding whether you're doing this or not. And maybe someday when you're outside and you're painting a vase or something like that, and you're like, wait a minute, I have an easier way to do it. Let me get my old, turntable. Let me remove the spices from it and get that out and, paint your vase that way. You can spin it around. It's very, very, makes it so much easier to paint. So yeah, thank you very much. I love giving out tips. In fact, I've been doing that on my newsletter, and I know some of you guys are on my newsletter. What do you think of the Rolodex tips? I did like the idea. I did have a reader who said, can these be pictures? That way I can save them to my phone as a picture, and I can find them easy. So I thought that was a good idea. So I'm doing them as pictures, but whether you want to save them or not, I forgot a little jar to put my paintbrush in, but I'm going to set it right there. I'll have to work on cleaning that later. Okay, now that I've got it all painted, it's going to take a little while to dry, but I'm going to go ahead. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just kind of showing you the idea, so I don't care if I get paint everywhere. Today has been a white day. I just did a project on Country Design Chalk, and I did this where I actually put chalk on the base. So today's a white day. Everything I'm doing today is white, and I'm even dressed in white. That was just kind of an accident, guys. Okay, now I'm grabbing some twine. Another tip. I shared this the other day, but get a mason jar, and it's even bonus if it's an old vintage one. Put your roll of twine, just drop it in that side there. Take the seal and do a hole punch in it, and put one of those grommets or those eyelets in there, and run your twine through it, and then put everything together. And it's just a cute way to put your twine, hang on to your twine. My grandmother used to use twine all the time around the house, especially in the kitchen. But I've got one in the kitchen, and I have one in the craft room. I haven't seen your newsletter. Oh, you haven't seen my newsletter? Actually, I thought you were on there, Pamela, but I will double check for you. Go to Country Design Style, and you can sign up there. And I send it out every Thursday around 3 o'clock Mountain Time in the afternoon. And I pick Thursdays because a lot of my DIYers, have weekends free. So I'm taking this twine. I just cut off about 20 inches, but and a lot of them, it's like, here's a collection of themed DIYs that you can do over the weekend, and it's just kind of. And as most of you know, I do pretty simple stuff. I don't get very complicated with my DIYs. Okay, I just tied little twine around there. Oh, thank you, Pamela. I thought for sure you were in the group or in the getting the newsletters. They're just fun. I think yesterday's was unusual Christmas trees. The Christmas trees that you make before Christmas. And I've got a spindle tree in there, which I love. In fact, I can see it almost it's at the top of that closet, and I didn't close my closet door over there completely. So it's just a collection of easy projects, really. And this week was Christmas trees, which I may have. I'll resend it to you if you sign up. But anyway, so I just tied a little piece of twine on there because that's kind of my style. I'm kind of very basic. I like whites. I like woods and touches of little touches of color. Okay, now I'm going to screw the, this is paint's already pretty much dry now, guys, believe it or not. Look at that. Cool. Okay, now I've got this back on. This is the big holes for the sugar. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I've got some wire cutters. Now, if you're a green thumb and you've got some beautiful plants outside, especially hydrangeas right now, of course, these holes might be too small for hydrangeas. You could always drill some out if you needed to put those in, because I think that would be amazing. And since I don't have a green thumb, I go to plastic. Now, I could also go out. We do have pine trees around, so I could go out and get some small pine branches and just stick these in around here. And some of these, well, that one's not made that way. Sometimes you can squeeze them up a little bit, push everything up on the fake plants. You could do that as well. I think I've got a mixture of plants in this. I do. Okay. I kind of like that, actually. If you can also pop off little pieces of it and stick those down in there. And now, if you're doing live, of course, you've got your container, so you can fill it with water, so it keeps your flowers. You could do this with grocery store flowers. And if anybody's been following me very long, I have a little passion for grocery store flowers. Back when I was a single mom and money was very scarce, we had our little grocery budget, but if there was ever a chance during the week when we went grocery shopping, if there was a chance to spend, back in the day, it was $4. I still remember it was about $4 for a small bundle of flowers. I would spend the extra to get my grocery store flowers. And we bring it back to our little duplex. Sometimes you look back on that and you just, wonderful times, really. At the time, I don't know that I thought they were wonderful, but hi. Oh, hi, Nat. Hi, Michael. Nice to see you. I'll see you in just a few minutes. I'm almost done. He's downstairs watching me. Okay, so just tuck all these in. Okay, now this is nice and green. Okay, great for spring, right? But we're in fall. So take all those out. Once that's all over, what I'm stuck in there. Ooh, I stuck that one down in good. Take the lid off and pull it out. Or cut it off. Oh, I stuck two in together. That's what I did in the same hole. But that's okay. Hello, Karen. Welcome. I've painted this with just chalk-based paint. I put the second coat on, and it's already dry. So we're good to go there. And if... Sweet memory, I know. Those I never at one point in my life ever thought that I'd be looking back on those times and thinking, that was sweet. It was fun. It's good times. Okay, so since it's fall, you could also add a few of your fall. Just, clip them. And another lie. I caught myself one day doing a live and I was doing some fake stuff. I also have a tendency, see, I'm taking all these branches and I'm clipping them off. Well, sometimes I do want a bigger branch. So just take floral tape, like what you use for flowers and stuff like that, and just kind of overlay them and wrap them back together. And that way you come back with the back big one if you've broken it apart, like I tend to do a lot. But just kind of cut them up, stick them in there, and you've got a little bit of a fall display there. I kind of want a small little group here. And you can fill up as many holes, keep it as simple, as light as you want. And then also, because it's just a little bit of fall, I've got my twine on there, but if you want to, I could always add a little bit of orange ribbon around there. And just tie it simple. You know, if you're great at bow tying, that's wonderful. It's a talent I do not have and never have had, but you can wrap a little bit of orange ribbon. Or you could add, because I tend to go to a little more farmhouse and I don't do a lot of orange. Does anybody, and it's great that you do. I used to do a ton of orange. But if you do some orange, you know, throw that on. If you don't, and you want to stay with the farmhouse style, I know on YouTube this is kind of not being seen. I keep picking it up for you guys. You can just tie on just a little bit of a kind of a farmhouse ribbon there. Keep it nice and simple. Great way, if you've got fall leaves outside, go grab some of those and put them in your sugar jar. And of course, you could paint that. Any color chalk-based paint would work, so make sure that it matches your home. Do it in your favorite color and you will love it. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll make sure that I'll put a link down below too to Country Design Style. Sometimes that just is kind of helpful if anybody wants to join us on the DIY help letter that I send out each Thursday. Thank you guys. Go have a creative. Oh, my sister is just now tuning in. Hello, sweetheart. Thanks for the hearts. Thanks for the encouragement, and also for listening to my memories. And if you do one of these, please snap a picture of it and share it on Country Design Styles Facebook group page. I love to see it. So I'd love to see what you guys do with it. Have fun. And again, go grab you a dollar store sugar jar. Bye, everybody.